What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Love After Lockup, Season 7, Episode 5, Charm or Con. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure you like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. This episode wasn't a lot. Y'all, I promise y'all, I kept falling asleep last night. I was so tired. But I did get my notes, so like work with me. Anyway, Emily and Justin. So Emily is at the content house in Vegas to shoot her movie. She aspires to be a porn star. Okay. Justin calls Emily and she tells him, she's in Vegas shooting content. And I'm like, why did he even have to know that? Why did you have to tell him that? Like, I'm going to call you back. And it's just as simple as that. Because here's the thing. I'm not saying for her to lie. You just don't have to disclose this information. Because first of all, that's not your husband. That's barely your man. That's the state's man. That's not yours. But that's... I'm so sorry, y'all. Your husband. And the fact that he gets upset with this type of stuff, he don't need to know. Whatever. So Aisha and Michael, she haven't talked to Michael in over a week. She says she's still hopeful about his situation. He actually called her, and now her nervous system is back dysregulated. Okay. She puts money on his books and she asked him questions about the property. He tells her, he gonna call her back, or maybe the phone hung up. I don't know. So Aisha says she want to believe Aunt Gloria, but Aunt Gloria is 82. And why would that lady lie to you? Again, she gets documentation from the prison or wherever they went on Michael. She found out that he had life in prison. This where it should have been. This where this whole thing should have stopped. He lives in a state where there's a 3-strike law. So I guess if you do something, you already got 2 strikes. The third one, you gotta go. And you ain't getting out. So she says Michael never told her he had life. Now she want to talk to the prosecutor. And I'm just like, why, girl? This is a waste of our time, your time, and everybody else's time. So we get to Goddess, Damon, and Bonita. She still hasn't disclosed, she as in Bonita hasn't disclosed to Damon that she stole his stuff to get things that she needed to take care of her daughter. Meanwhile, Goddess is overthinking at her house, overthinking the situation that he never disclosed to Bonita that he and Goddess are a thing. She tells him that she's still, that she's overthinking, and I think it triggered her, and he started to yell. In a way, I would have hung up on him, because who you yelling at? Anyway, Damon starts lying to Goddess and how he's going to tell his baby mama about the both of them. Damon is now on the phone with Bonita talking about his mom picking up his clothes. And I was just like, wow. Anyway, Monique and Titus. She said that he's being an asshole. Her sisters are telling her, he's showing you who he really is. She said that she's never trusted men. And she had a hard time trusting men. And why are you trusting him? Anyway, after she had the conversations with the sisters, they leave and go back home. She said that in her confessional that you don't come across love like this often. She was pregnant, but we also find out that Monique was pregnant at one point, but the baby didn't survive because the baby organs wasn't fully developed. So because of that, she lost the baby. So Monique gets a knock on the door and it goes to commercial break. So then we return and we are now in the Aisha and Michael of it all. She goes to visit the DA to talk about Michael's case and all of his charges. She said she didn't remember him, and she said she's, prosecuted many cases, but, Aisha said the DA is responsible. She said this in her confessional. She had the audacity. And again, if you go back to our live last night, my best friend talked about having the audacity. So she had the audacity. And she said that the DA is responsible for locking her man up. And I'm like, first of all, it's the DA's job to lock up anybody. It's your man's responsibility to keep him out of jail. He done some stupid shit. He got himself locked up. And now he's the bitch to the correctional state of Alabama, or however they say it. Because, girl, you really have some nerve. So the DA at this point, she's literally laughing at Aisha because she knows that there's some ignorant hood bullshit, okay? And that, I also feel like Whitefish was like, girl, this is beneath me. This is above my pay grade, baby. I am retired, okay? So she asked Aisha, how did they meet? And she said, well, did he not tell you why he was in the situation he was in? She said, it's because he made some mistakes. Girl. She said the DA tells Aisha, Michael's driving record alone was actually 4 pages. Okay? The day of Michael's arrest, he had $65,000 worth of cocaine on him. He got life, but he's coming up for parole in 2 years. She said he's been in jail for the past 5 years, which is why that trailer looked the way it does. Because it hasn't been kept in the past 5 years. And again, I think people were squatting in it as well. So I was like, okay, fine. I think Aisha wants to believe that there is some type of hope. And I don't know if she feel like she cannot get a man on this side of the correctional facility. But I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know what's wrong with people who delve into situations that's already a strain. And not only that, you're actually volunteering to be fiscally responsible for people who have gone out and done wrong, committed crimes, and now they have to pay for it. And so you feel like, oh, I guess everybody deserves a chance in life, but I also feel like if you did the damn crime, you need to do the damn time. I am not responsible for paying for noodles for you. I am not responsible for buying you a pack of cigarettes. That is not my responsibility. Okay? I don't know what to tell you because you are rot playing with me. Okay? Anyway, Monique. So we get back to the knock on the door and she gets up to answer it and it's Titus's cousin Jamal. First of all, why are you showing up unannounced? Okay? So apparently it seems as though Titus sent Jamal over to Monique's house because Monique blocked Titus, and all of a sudden there is a call from Titus. When I tell you Titus is a controlling, arrogant mofo, I ain't up like, girl, the signs are there. The flags are waving. I'm sorry, y'all. So he feels like he is owed an apology. And I'm like, you call this lady a B word and you feel like you're owed an apology? Yeah, no. Jamal starts to talk to Monique about the whole, I guess, whatever situation they got going and why she haven't seen him. And I'm looking at Jamal like, you need to mind your fucking business because this don't have nothing to do with you. Girl, Monique, you good. I'm sorry. It for me, I don't trust Titus or Jamal. Okay? I'm just looking at Monique, girl, this man is going to railroad you. He's using you, and I just can't. I can't. And I just feel like Monique is part dummy because you're allowing Titus to feed you breadcrumbs. And now, because he's able to feed you breadcrumbs and talk some sweet stuff in your ear, now your nervous system is back, not dysregulated. Your nervous system is back to normal. Anyway, Goddess Damon and Bonita. Damon wants all of his belongings to his mom. At this point, Bonita, tell that man that you sold his stuff so you can have money. She feel like Damon and his mama are moving real funny because why you want to come pick up the clothes. Girl, you're deflecting. Tell him what you did. Anyway, Damon says to both Bonita and Goddess, he thinks he's ready to move with them, but he's gonna live with his mom. Like, oh no, he said he's not ready to move in with the both of them, but he's gonna live with his mama. And that's where you need to be, because your mama upholds you in all of your foolishness. And I think my issue with the mind is you're planting seeds in these women's heads, making them feel like you're love bombing them. First of all, making them feel like you want to be with them. And while this isn't, whatever space you're in right now, it's not benefiting you. So now you don't want to live with them. You want to live with your mama where it's beneficial for you. Girl. Anyway, I feel like the mind is full of crap. Talking about they policing him, and it sounds like, I just feel like he got an additional woman somewhere. But that's just my whole take on it. Anyway, Aisha and Michael, you moved. At this point, I need Aisha to move on because you sound crazy. And when Michael called, the way she was acting like a whole kid in this whole situation, I was just like, girl, no ma'am. No ma'am. So she tells him she heard he had life in prison. And he says, that's what I told you. So he lying now. I told y'all, I cannot stand a liar. I cannot stand a liar. Okay? He says that she know that he didn't tell her that. She said that. And so they having a back and forward about that, y'all. I didn't put too much stock in it because at this point I feel like Aisha is a glutton for punishment. And I feel like Aisha just want to be on TV. Just want to be on TV at this point. And it disgusts me to no end, just like the rest of these people. So the last part was Justin and Emily. And I'm sorry, y'all. He wants her to change her job. And I was like, again, you cannot control this lady's life from where you're at. So Justin decided to turn on his white man tears, and he tells her, she don't need to do this job since they will be married. And it's like, how do you know? Like, you were supposed to go up for parole, but because of your bad behavior, now she have to wait a full year for you to go up to the parole board. So there is no future in any of this. There is no future in any of this. So for you to try to guilt trip this lady because you don't like her job, or you feel like she shouldn't be, because in your mind you thinking she just getting her back blown out. No, she's getting her services paid for. And there are some people that can check out completely, and she just happened to be one of them people. I don't know. But yeah, this is where the episode ended. This episode was not it. But tomorrow, I think at 6, we will be going live, myself, Mrs. Best, and James, over on Mrs. Best channel. I want to say tomorrow evening for for Love During Lockup. So y'all come around there. Y'all subscribe to their channels, and we will go from there. This is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.